Welcome in to Steelers Talk Yinzers. My name is Jack Sperry, and today's video is going to be the first part in a two-part series here of my top 10 list of the Pittsburgh Steelers that have the most to prove heading into the 2023 campaign. Couldn't just put this into one video, had to split it up here into two, but I can't wait to break down numbers 10 through 6 with you here. But first, go ahead and click that subscribe button right now because we are in the middle of a sub battle with the rest of the channels here in the AFC North. Right now, we are in the lead, just in front of the Browns Report by 5 new subscribers this week, but they're right on our tails. Do not let them catch up to us here because we do not lose sub battles here on Steelers Talk. We provide you guys with the most comprehensive Steelers experience here on YouTube. We got daily videos covering the latest on the black and gold. Plus, we're going to have live watch parties for all 17 games for the Pittsburgh Steelers schedule this year. So if you want that comprehensive and complete fan experience for free here on YouTube, make sure you click that subscribe button for me right now. Now let's get into my list here, starting with number 10, which is none other than T.J. Watt, the edge rusher. Now, TJ doesn't have a ton to prove, okay? So he's obviously proven a ton in this league. A former Defensive Player of the Year just 2 seasons ago with 22.5 sacks, which tied the all-time NFL record, right? But last year, just 5.5 sacks in 10 games played. Now, yes, before you get into the comment section screaming at me, yes, I understand that he was playing hurt last season. But we need to see something from T.J. Watt that really shows us that he is fully back, 100% healthy, because when you're getting injuries at this point in your NFL career, it can certainly lead to some regression as your career moves on. And I'm just really hoping that doesn't happen with TJ and he gets back to being a defensive Player of the Year caliber player this year. And let me tell you guys something. I'm not worried about T.J. Watt. All I'm saying is he kind of regressed a little bit last season just because he was fighting through those injuries when he was playing. But I think now that he's 100% healthy yet again, I think he's going to be back to the same old T.J. Watt that Pittsburgh Steelers fans are used to seeing. And if you have Alex Highsmith performing like he was last season with 14.5 sacks, with T.J. Watt playing like he was in 2021 where he had 22.5 sacks, I think this pass rush could easily be the best pass rush in the National Football League heading into 2023. So let me know how good of a season you think T.J. Watt is going to have this year. 15.5 is the number. Will he be over that number or under that number for the 2023 season? Type O if you think he's going to be over 15.5 sacks, or if you think he's going to be under that number this year, type U for me down in the comments section. All right, now, number 9 on my list, sophomore wide receiver out of the University of Georgia, George Pickens. Now, I think that he is probably going to be somebody that could assert himself as the number 1 weapon on Matt Canada's offense here, and he needs to prove it. Okay, Deontay Johnson is still the number 1 wide receiver on this offense, and he's going to have to overtake him because DJ is a really, really good wide receiver. But let me tell you something. George Pickens has the ability. He's got the size. He's got the hands. He's got the body control. He's got everything that he needs to be a true alpha number 1 type wide receiver in this league. And I think with how good the running game is going to be for the Steelers this year with Najee Harris behind that improved offensive line, I think George Pickens is going to be one hell of a deep threat this year, and he will ascend to be that number 1 wide receiver in 2023. So before I reveal the other 3 names on today's list, I want to tell you guys about this awesome t-shirt combo that we've got on the Chat Sports website right now, and it's perfect for summer. Go to chatsports.com/Steelers combo to get your hands on this awesome combination of Steelers t-shirts. We got the black short sleeve there with the Steelers helmet. Really like that one. And then perfect for summer, a long sleeve that's white. I'm going to be rocking that thing all the time here on the show. I've got mine on the way. You can too. Go to chatsports.com/Steelers combo to get your hands on this pair of awesome Steelers t-shirts today. All right, number 8 on my list, another wide receiver, Allen Robinson. Now, the Steelers traded for Robinson during the offseason this year. And over the last 2 years, Robinson has definitely not had the production that he had earlier on in his career. Now, he's not had the quarterback play pretty much throughout his career that you would want as a wide receiver, right? A lot of bad quarterback play throughout his career. He started in Jacksonville, and he went to the Bears with Mitchell Trubisky, who we all know is not the best quarterback in the world. And then last year, he was so excited to play with Matthew Stafford, but then he gets hurt, and he has a bunch of bad quarterbacks like Baker Mayfield throwing him the football for the rest of the year. Just 4 touchdowns over the last 2 seasons, but before that, he was good for about 100 catches per season, over 1,000 yards, and he was a red zone threat being at his size. So the Steelers obviously see something in Allen Robinson's game, and the question for him this year is, does he still have it? Can he still be a starting caliber wide receiver in this league? He's had a little bit of trouble getting open against man coverage over the last couple of seasons here with, of course, the Rams and then the Bears, his final season in Chicago. But I still think that he's got it. I still think that he's going to be a really good player against zone. I think he's going to be the starting slot wide receiver for the Steelers week 1. And I think he's going to have a successful year. Now let's move on to another name here on the list. Number 7, Alex Highsmith, the other edge rusher for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And last year was his breakout season, right? 14.5 sacks. He might be the best player in the National Football League that most people don't even know his name. He is so underrated. He's so the media does not report on how good this football player is. It's kind of like Aaron Donald earlier on in his career. Nobody reported on him until, he finally wins Defensive Player of the Year. I'm not saying Highsmith's an Aaron Donald level talent or anything like that, but man, 5 forced fumbles, 12 tackles for loss. Really like the talent that Alex Highsmith brings to the table. And the big question throughout the offseason is he going to get that big extension? Now, if he gets paid, okay, so let's say that Omar Khan gets a deal done with Alex here and he ends up getting the bag. The thing with him is that he's going to have to prove to Steelers Nation that last year wasn't a fluke and that he is absolutely worth every single penny that the Steelers are going to be paying him. But now let's say that they don't pay him. Then he's going to have to prove that he is worth that money because he is a 2024 free agent. And if he wants to get paid next offseason, he is going to have to perform. So no matter what, I think that we know Alex Highsmith is a really, really good football player, but he definitely has to show up and do it again. He had a great season in 2022. Can he do it again? That is going to be the big question for Alex Highsmith. And personally, I think he's going to have another fantastic season. So do you want Alex Highsmith to get paid this offseason? If so, make sure you click that thumbs up icon and like today's video. And if you don't, get into the comments section and tell me why. I want to know, all the Alex Highsmith truthers out there or haters, why they don't want Alex Highsmith to get paid, because I think he's a really freaking good player. I think he should be in the black and gold for many years to come. All right, now the last name on this part 1 of 2 series here, number 6 on my list, Calvin Austin III, definitely comes into 2023 with a ton to prove. He's already in his sophomore season, and he hasn't played a down of football in the regular season here in the NFL. So last year he had a season-ending foot injury in training camp, completely devastating. He was showing out in training camp and minicamp last season, and then once again now coming back from that foot injury, he is showing out once again. He is being the star of OTAs and minicamp to this point, and a lot of people are excited to see what he can do, not only as a wide receiver, but as a punt and kickoff return man. And let me tell you, if you watch the highlights of Calvin Austin III at Memphis, he is one of the most explosive, dynamic guys in open space you will ever find. So I hope Matt Canada finds some very creative ways to get him involved in this offense, I should say. Sorry about that. Matt Canada loves the jet sweep. I would say Calvin Austin III could be one of the best jet sweep wide receivers in the National Football League, and I fully expect him to come up this season and really prove to the world that kind of forgot about him last season when he was injured, that you shouldn't forget about this guy. He is an absolutely explosive, dynamic talent that is going to be with the Pittsburgh Steelers for a long time. And I think the combination of Allen Robinson and Calvin Austin III in the slot is going to be a really deadly duo for opposing defenses to have to deal with, along with, of course, George Pickens and Deontay Johnson on the outside. So get into the comments section right now and let me know which Steelers player has the most to prove this season. I'll be revealing my number one player here in just a second. Or not just a second, in another video here coming out next Monday. But if you want to see who my number one player is that has the most to prove in 2023, go ahead and click that subscribe button for me. Right now, we got a bunch of great stuff coming up next week. Can't wait to share with you guys. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Turn on your notifications so you don't miss that video coming up this week.